Happy Father's Day to all of you responsible fathers out there who actually love your children. I'm very grateful that you exist. And happy Father's Day to the future fathers of the children of this foundation in this new chapter. I am grateful you are here. Let's tap right in and see what storyline Spirit has for us. How's it going? How's it going, Spirit? Storyline for the collective, please. Storyline for the collective. Storyline for the collective. In the central energy, the Chariot, forward movement, a victory over something, going on a journey, you've got control, very determined, you could be leaving something behind, overcoming trials and regaining control in the challenge position. The Four of Pentacles in the upright. You may be challenged by creating a solid foundation. Control over a foundation, security. In the subconscious, we've got memories, nostalgia. In the recent past, we've got the Sun and the Devil. So the Devil is codependent on the Sun. There may have been an attachment to the vitality of those who embody the essence of the Sun. Intentions and expectations. Conflict, territorial conflict. The Devil against the Sun. Codependent, destructive entities versus those who bring positivity, joy, and warmth and celebration to life. Conflict. And in the near future, we've got the Six of Swords. So there's a transition, there's a moving on, leaving the baggage behind, releasing it. The lens it's being looked through. Page of Wands. Limitless potential, excitement and freedom, embarking on something new, starting something new. In the environment, you've got the Nine of Cups here. So there's a wish come true, a life of luxury. You've earned it. Hopes and fears. Temperance. Balance and harmony. You could be an earth angel. Temperance angel, and the outcome. Is the Hermit. So there could be some sort of inner guidance, you know, connected to the divine. You may be meditating, searching for truth. Doing some research. Soul searching. With high standards, diligently. We've got the Fool, so you've got a new beginning. There's a new beginning, and that's justice, the law of cause and effect. Justice and judgment is here. You have a new beginning. You're letting go of the baggage of this conflict, this stupid fighting between the devil and the sun. There's a King of Cups here. And very swiftly, it looks like he may be leaving home or going somewhere, reconciling with somebody, and that's a completion of a cycle. This is over. We have the King of Swords here, new leadership that's very disciplined regarding wealth, and they are uplifting the community rather than abusing it. The Queen of Pentacles is a wise woman, and we have protection here, or we have maintaining control. Could be a protectress, and somebody is experiencing loss because of that, and a death. This is the end of a cycle, and you're coming into your inheritance for being resilient, and your faith was tested. You've been holding your energy here. You got a 10 of Pentacles and a 9 of Wands. This is the last stand. You've got your boundaries up. You're very resilient. You're weary. You're coming into the inheritance for what you have endured. And the Wheel of Fortune has turned here. Whatever your Wheel of Fortune is, it's being hidden by the Moon card, and that's a celebration. Those who are bringing betrayal and deception are getting divorced out of the energy. You persevered through this conflict, and now you're getting blissful divine love. This is an end, an end. This is a 10 of Wands, so it's the end of the burden here for divine feminine in her Queen of Wands energy. She's determined to live her life in love, and she's very passionate about it, so she's making plans for the future. And it's a painful ending here, or it could be that somebody that was bringing conflict is getting laid to rest. They're in a painful defeat because the High Priestess is just too strong in her love energy. Queen of Cups. Collective energy, please, Spirit, collective energy. So there's a victory here with the Chariot. You've got forward momentum. There's some the Emperor, the Chariot, and the Emperor. So the Emperor has a victory here. Very determined. Challenge is the Four of Pentacles, wealth, security, stability, solid foundations. He could be clearing the foundation, moving forward on that, gaining control of the foundation. For the lovers, for the Two of Cups. Creating a solid foundation for the Two of Cups marriages. We've got the Six of Cups here. There's history. There could be a return to happiness. We've got the Tower in the reversed. There's a sudden change according to the history, or whatever has happened in the history is in a disaster right now. It's collapsing. The history is collapsing. That timeline may be collapsing. The timeline that holds this devil that was bringing conflict, that may be collapsing. There's a stormy time for folks. According to the history, the divine stated that the need for vengeance is in the history, so it could be that that's what that is. You've got this devilish attachment that's codependent on the sun. We've got the Queen of Pentacles here, a wise woman, a working parent, a protectress. Please do what you need to do with the genders. Conflict, competition, rivalry with the devil and the sun. And we've got the Knight of Cups. So somebody may be coming forward to try to, they were bringing conflict in their love connections. Using love as an excuse to terrorize people that actually cared about them. You're leaving them behind. You're leaving that baggage behind. You're moving on. That relationship is ending. You're leaving this illusion behind. You could have many options in the future. You might be daydreaming about what that's going to be. Page of Wands here. Excitement and freedom. Limitless potential. So you're leaving the illusion behind. You've got limitless potential. We've got the Page of Wands. So there's a Page of Wands here that made bad choices with the Fool reverse. They did not get a new beginning. They could be reckless. They could be behaving in a risky fashion. They're getting the news. They're being held back. They don't get a new beginning. You've got a wish come true here. Nine of Cups. We've got justice. The law of cause and effect is here. Everybody's getting what they deserve. Everybody's getting a return on their investment. If they were investing in deceit and betrayal and cruelty, they're going to get that back amplified. We've got a return, or the hope is to be balanced, be this temperance angel, to be balanced. We've got a Knight of Wands here, being impulsive with a temperance energy. You're being sensible when it comes to a Knight of Wands coming forth. The Hermit, you're doing your research on somebody before you get entangled with them. And the Sun, the Hermit and the Sun, you're shining a big old light on these, on Knight of Wands, or anybody, any wand that comes forward. Somebody may be in a Ten of Wands energy, or this is a completion of your burden, and somebody's in they've lost. They're in disappointment, they're in regret, because they've been divorced out of the loving cup of the Divine Mother, the nurturer, the one who actually cared at all about them. They can't tap into her anymore. The King of Wands is overcoming challenges here. He's here with the Hierophant regarding social approval and conformity, some kind of traditional values. And we've got the Page of Cups here, who's trying to think fast. They're driven to defend their ways, their F-boy ways or whatever. Because they want this Ace of Pentacles, but they're under judgment. They're under judgment. They don't have anything to offer except bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a fantasy. It's an illusion. And the only thing they have to offer is a wand. And they're not getting the new beginning. They're untrustworthy. They're cruel. Codependent. They have nothing to offer whatsoever except cruelty and betrayal. So we've got the Chariot here. There's a victory for the Emperor. He's offering, well, it looks like he could be holding back. There's somebody being held back. Somebody's holding back. The Emperor is holding back. So Emperor's holding back those who should have expressed themselves better. Somebody's being held back. Four of Pentacles is a challenge, creating a solid foundation for the Two of Cups. Holding back this person, there's no roots on that flower. There is no flower or on that stem. There's no flower on that stem. It's a barren, there's no fruit here. He's holding back those. He's creating a solid foundation for Two of Cups unions, partnerships. Whoever this barren fruit is, they miss their opportunity. It's in the history. Everything that this barren individual, this devil, codependent, toxic individual, they're in a collapse. We've got unsatisfied. The devil is codependent on the Sun, and we've got a working parent here that's providing some kind of support. We've got unworthy. There could be a Queen of Pentacles here that is unworthy. Conflict. Prince Charming is nothing but conflict. They're bringing conflict, territorial conflict, by trying to steal somebody's destiny or hop aboard somebody's destiny by trying to be Prince Charming. But this is a petty rival, and you're leaving them behind. They're nothing but illusion. They cast illusions. You're leaving anybody who casts illusions behind. Unfinished business. Page of Wands. Doesn't have a plan. Getting the message, getting the news. They're being held back. They're being held back. They made bad choices regarding this reunion. You're getting a wish come true. Nine of Cups. Justice is here. The law of cause and effect. Chaser. There could be a chaser. Somebody doesn't want to chase you anymore. They're having some experiences. Hope and fear. They're hoping that they can get passionate with a temperance angel. They're in disagreement. They think you should understand how they feel when they never ever cared about how anybody else felt. They were just a gigolo, man. A shallow, codependent, toxic overload, man. Brutalizer of love and the loving. You got your Hermit here. You're shining a light on this kind of stuff. All is well. You got a rebirth. There's somebody who wants to have a conversation with you. The Sun. Somebody who embodies the essence of the Sun. Could be the literal sun, taken as it resonates. Somebody made mistakes. They want to have a conversation. They can't get in your space. Maybe they're in solitary confinement. They sabotage themselves by neglecting you. And look at Miss Fancy Pants. Oh, that's an unexpected outcome. Longing to be with you because you bring goodness to the world, which maybe you might have an invention. They were talking about that the other day. Somebody's making an invention. They're going to create something that is going to bring them wealth. They were talking about others' trust funds. Whoever this rootless, flowerless wench is. So there's a victory for the Emperor. We've got holding back, leaving, holding back the rootless, flowerless feminine. There's a feminine on this card. Taking it as far as it can go this time around, walking away from it. Holding back from this rootless, flowerless feminine. Holding back many rootless, flowerless feminines, walking away from them, I guess. The divine masculine's walking away from hoe bags. His challenge is to create a solid foundation for mutually attracted partnerships that actually are love and balance. Whoever this rootless person is, they missed their opportunity. They were tempted by the snake. They're just foul, and I guess maybe the masculine has finally figured it out after what? Enjoying it for a time. We got the Six of Cups. So it's in the history. Whatever was nasty in the history is collapsing. They were not satisfied. They want forgiveness now. Codependence. They are codependent on your light, on your warmth, on your joy. We've got a Queen of Pentacles here who's unworthy. They broke their promises. They didn't keep any of them. We've got conflict in the knight in shining armor proposals. Conflict with other people's destiny. Grieving. It didn't work out the way that they had planned. They were trying to F around with love, to try to play games with love, to just be lustful little hoe bags, trying to hop aboard somebody else's great destiny while destroying them and replacing them with rootless, flowerless little hoe bag wenches. You're leaving them behind because they're just a bunch of illusionists. There's unfinished business. Far away, going at a distance. Page of Wands. Getting the message. They're being held back. They're very reckless. They took risks with this reunion. They're not getting a new beginning. They're reaching out for love, but love is eluding them. They're just another F-boy. We've got the Nine of Cups here. Wish come true. The law of cause and effect is in order. The chaser doesn't want to chase anymore after needs. So it looks like you're sensible, you found your purpose, but you got a Knight of Wands here coming in, wanting to be passionate with you. They're impulsive, they're in disagreement, they wish you understood how they felt. They're an empty vessel. They don't have anything to offer except lies and secrets. You're shining a light on it here with the Hermit and the Sun. Somebody wants to have a conversation. You're not supporting them anymore. They're struggling. The things you no longer need are falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. And this is ending. You have escaped. They're looking for an escape. They want to reattach to you somehow. But you're letting them go. They've lost. They've lost you for good. And they got caught up in the whirlwind and they did not see that this was coming. You picked up the pieces. They shattered your heart. They tried to shatter your soul. You picked up the pieces. And now they need out. Now somebody wants out because they were playing games with love and they're being met with aggressiveness. They're very full of anxiety. They don't know what these many flames are going to do and they are going under. They're very childish and they neglected everything good and everything that everybody that ever cared about them. They were mean little SLUTs. There's a victory here for the Emperor. We've got a flowerless, rootless feminine that is getting left behind. They're walking away. The Emperor is walking away from them. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. They're scared. They're scared. They don't know what to do. They're being left behind. The Emperor is leaving them. His task, his challenge is to set a solid foundation for true, loving Two of Cups unions. This feminine missed their opportunity. They were tempted by the snake. They're scared. They're a deadbeat. They missed their opportunity for an Ace of Pentacles with you. Stability. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune here. There's a change here in destiny. They were trying to steal a destiny of somebody. It's so disgusting and disturbing that these energies are actually sharing space with us, who actually want faithful, loyal unions that are loving. Queen of Wands. So we've got the history here, and somebody's collapsing. The history, what was this crap about this F your way into somebody else's destiny and then get rid of them kind of business is collapsing. They were not happy with their own life. They want forgiveness. Oh, I didn't mean to hurt you. Well, yes, you did. You're just a bad, bad person. Queen of Wands here. Codependent on your light. Queen of Pentacles is unworthy. They didn't keep their promises. Queen of Swords is being protective. She knows the truth. There's conflict here. Rivalry. Knight of Cups. So they were using Prince Charming to create crap in other people's destinies. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way they wanted. We got King of Swords reversed. This is a brutal, controlling dictator. They're grieving over your destiny. You're leaving the baggage behind. You're leaving the illusionists behind. There's unfinished business. They're going far, far away physically and emotionally. They're at a distance. They're going far, far away from this Two of Cups union. They've got to go away from these partnerships. They can't be in the energy of. They got to go away. Page of Wands is getting the news. They're not getting a new beginning. They're being held back from the reunion. They're reaching out, trying to connect, but love is eluding them because they're immature and obsessed. They're full of vanity. This is the Page of Cups reversed. You've got a wish come true. You're getting a life of luxury. The law of cause and effect. The chaser doesn't want to chase anymore after you for their needs. They were chasing after others' destinies. trying to get their needs met by hurting other people who actually cared about them and wanted to make their life better. But instead of just allowing that partnership to flourish, they decided to crush the one who really had an interest in helping them. The World. This is a completion. It's a completion. It's over. So you're being sensible. You've got a Knight of Wands here that's wanting to come forward and be passionate. They're acting impulsive. They're in disagreement. They got secrets here. They're lying. They're not willing to say or hear the truth. Their vessel is empty. Their cup is empty. They have nothing to offer except the filthy little wand there. Three of Swords reversed. You're letting them go. It's time to heal from the trauma that they have put into the world. The Hermit's here. You're doing your research. There's a rebirth here. All is well. Somebody wants to have a conversation. They're struggling. You're not supporting them anymore. You're not obligated to support them. Three of Wands reversed. You're closed off. You're not supporting them anymore. You're closed off. They don't have access to you, nor do they have permission to continue harassing you. So there's a lot of energetics going on. There could be some talk. Somebody might be talking a lot with the Page of Swords. Somebody is vigilant. They might be helping to clear this up. We've got the Three of Cups. There's a celebration here, and the Hierophant. So there's morality, ethics, right? Traditional values. This is over. It's released. You're releasing this conflict, and everybody who wanted to bring conflict, it's just so disgusting. They'll never stop until they're forced to stop. Their only purpose is to F the world over and to F over anybody who actually cared about them. They're not worthy of love. They're only in it for the pentacles, the status, the power that doesn't actually belong to them. They're trying to hijack somebody else's destiny using love as an excuse. We've got a victory here, or there's forward movement by the Emperor. They're holding back the barren, those who don't offer anything, have anything to offer. They're getting left behind. They're scared because of the work that's here, or they could be scared by the expertise, by the omniscience. They could be worried about the work that they have done. They're afraid of the work that they have done. The challenge is creating a solid foundation for a Two of Cups unions. This barren, fruitless being was tempted by the snake. They missed their opportunity for a new, abundant, stable beginning. The wheel has turned. They're frightened here. They're depressed. Paranoid. For what the history is bringing forth the need for a collapse, some kind of suffering for these ones who were robbing others of their destiny, causing them undue suffering. They want forgiveness. They say they didn't mean to hurt you, but yes, they did. They got off on it. The more they hurt others, the more pleasure they got out of it. There's a Queen of Wands here who is either trying to rob somebody or they were trying to rob a Queen of Wands. Take it as it resonates. They're very confident. Maybe they were confident. They thought that they were going to rob somebody. It could be a Queen of Wands that thought that they were going to get away with exploiting somebody. The Devil energy is dependent on your light energy, those who embody the essence of the sun. There's a Queen of Pentacles here who has been found unworthy of being a Queen of Pentacles. They broke all of their promises, and the Queen of Swords is here telling the truth about it. Fate. Queen of Swords is entering into their fate. There was a rivalry here. They were trying to use Knight of Cups. A Knight of Cups is grieving. It didn't work out the way they had planned. They're a brutal dictator trying to control other people's destinies. They're being separated. They might be spying on you with the online community. You're leaving that baggage behind. This relationship is ending. They're a bunch of illusionists. There's unfinished business. They're going far, far away from this Two of Cups union and their imagination, their mind. They cannot get into the mind of these Two of Cups unions anymore to F around with their union, their connections, with their magic and their little devil friends. There's an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius getting the news. You are free. They're being held back from this reunion. They're immature and vain. They're reaching, trying to connect, but love is eluding them. It's live and learn. It could be time for them to go learn lessons like this. You got some hard lessons to learn here. That just wasn't cool, man, the way you were behaving. And I don't know who taught these people how to do that, but it's ridiculous. You've got a wish come true. Justice is being served. The law of cause and effect. Somebody doesn't want to chase after you for their needs anymore. This is, the world is turning. This is a completion of a cycle. You have won over this conflict, this competition. Temperance angel is here. Somebody wants to come forward. This Knight of Wands, they want to come forward being impulsive. They wish you understood how they feel. They're not willing to say or hear the truth. They're an empty vessel. They have nothing to offer. And there's a Three of Swords reversed. You're letting them go. You're letting them go. It's time to heal from this trauma. You don't want F-boy. Get away from me with that wand, you freaking jackwagon. Oh, lover boy. Thief. Brutalizer. Snake. Being confined. You're researching, you're doing your research. If anybody approaches you with a little cup of love or with their passion, their wand coming out saying, hey, you're shining a light on that. Somebody may want to be having a conversation. You're not dealing with them anymore. You're not going to support them anymore. You're closed off. They had a lack of foresight. They're losing their freedom. They're going to jail. This is your intellectual property. They've been messing with your mind. They've been playing with your source connected inventions, ideas, those things that were meant to be part of the reality here in this realm. They were messing with all of that, playing at love, bringing pain and suffering and violence, man. Warring and whoring is what these guys are all about. And it's so weird to me that they running around so proud of themselves, you know. They came up against somebody who's got a halo, somebody who's in their powerful solar plexus energy. They're a good moral human. They've earned a lot of merit. They've been trying to hijack the destiny of these people. They come in with their wand, with their love cup, and they say, oh, I love you. You've got all this stuff that I just admire. And then they get what they want, and then they trash the scene like a freaking dirty devil snake. So they're getting confined. They can't be in this territory anymore. They can't be in the mind or in a partnership with people who actually take partnerships seriously. So everybody who networked against love is being left alone, and they're sick. They're sick. You could be receiving a new vow with the Spirit Divine, with the Most High, to collaborate with some other people who are gifts, who have gifts to share with the world. There's new vital force. There's a new family tree. There's a lot of stuff coming together. And because you persevered through natural disasters, so all these folks coming together, they have persevered through this risky situation with these devilish warring and whoring thieves. These mask-wearing bullies are in danger. They took a risk. They took a gamble. They did magic. They could be doing magic over your real estate, over your business, over your marriage, or your connections, your partnerships, and now they're furious. It could be coming back on them. Yeah, they're furious because justice is being served for all of the magic that they have done on people's partnerships, businesses, land, home, family. It's all coming back on them. You're not required to help them. They may be praying to you who love yourself. They might be praying to receive your love. But they were committed to mind reading and to driving the mental body of people into divorce, into domestic violence, into other negative things. These ones are protesting. They're blind. They're losing their gifts, their sight, and all of that other stuff. They can no longer hop into they can't astral travel or astral project into your energetic space, spy on you, poke you, harvest from you. You've reached your goals. You are coming into your reward. Your alliances see that you're honest and trustworthy and true. And those who are bringing conflict to you are in a trap. You have sweet dreams now. Look, you've got sweet dreams, you've got daydreams, you've got lots of stuff going on. It's your time. It's your time to walk into eternal love. Whoever this coach is that was tempted and bribed others to dominate people are experiencing a loss. They're losing everything. They're confused and hesitating. They could be hearing voices. They're being cast away. They could be homeless. Because you have gained a victory here and you're going on an adventure. You're the king or queen of that mountain there, and you've got gained. This is the conclusion of this. And that's good news. That's good news. It's a miracle. This whole family that came against you is disturbed, or they're getting ready for it. All that negative, all those devilish energies that they were sending out to make you sick and stressed so that they could have an indulgent life, it's all coming back on them. And now they're overloaded and overwhelmed by the nightmare that they were putting into the world. They wanted a world of violence. They wanted a world of suffering. They wanted to feel like they were all powerful because they could squash a sleeper, somebody who was unaware. You're okay You're stable here. You're a sweetheart and you're getting mercy. God's he's lowering that hand and pulling you up out of this mess. These third wheel enemies, they're stubborn. They don't want to hear it. They could be having mental disturbances because they tried to curse your family. They're being rejected. They cursed families. They cursed families, everybody's families. That was their job, was to get into the minds of these Two of Cups unions and then to create divorce, domestic violence. So there's a victory for the Emperor here. Those who don't bear fruits are being left behind. They're afraid of the work that they did. They're being told to get effed. Nobody wants to have anything to do with them. They're vile. They're disgusting. They have nothing to offer whatsoever. They're a deadbeat that can spread their legs and offer a black hole and gather semen and whatever else they can get to curse somebody and hold back their dreams and their destiny. This is a troll. The Emperor's challenge is to create solid foundations for Two of Cups unions. This whole bag missed their opportunity. They were tempted by the snake. They missed their opportunity for a new, abundant, stable life. There's a turning point here. There's a change. They're depressed. They're paranoid. You're getting the land back. You've got the land back. This is the new territory. The other day, or this day, someday, they were talking about occupation. Like whatever garden, there's trouble in the garden. Like they stole the garden of Eden. There's that story, Adam and Eve got kicked out of the garden. No, these devils stole it with their witchcraft and their demonology and all this other crap that they were using to read the minds and drive people into domestic violence and horrible things so that they could rob them of their future and their destiny. So everybody that did that in the history, they're suffering now. Everything is collapsing. They want forgiveness. There's a Queen of Wands here and robbery. Maybe they want forgiveness for trying to rob a Queen of Wands and make them a snack for their black hole soul. Whatever, they could be being a snack because they were trying to rob the Queen of Wands. They got destructive behavior regarding those who embody the essence of the sun. There's a Queen of Pentacles here that has been found unworthy. They broke every single promise that they made. They broke the heart of people, more than one, probably very many, but they could not break your spirit. The Queen of Swords is here, shining a light on the truth of this. And we're coming into fate. Fortune telling, it could be an oracle. Queen of Swords is telling the story here. Billionaire, somebody's got a billionaire status. These people, this Queen of Pentacles is after what? The Queen of Swords billionaire status, their fate, their future, their purpose. There's an invention that's going to be happening that may earn them billions of dollars. This person wanted to get in on it. They wanted to take part in this invention. They wanted the trust. They wanted the vehicle, the body. This is a parasitical entity that wants to attach themselves to the flesh suit so that they can command the spirit while the person is actually in their bed sleeping. They want to go walk around in the 4D as them and Agent Smith, their spirit self, so that they can command this crap. Really nasty, vicious people. They're not even people. They're not even people. They got to be a spider or a freaking worm entity, some sort of a parasitical entity. It just makes me want to throw up thinking about them. And the fact that they put their their juices into the world, and that they actually mated with people and produced offspring and then taught them how to go out and be a warring, whoring, brutalizer, betrayer of the loving, light-bearing people who were here to make their life improved, to improve their life. Knight of Cups, conflict, jackwagon, grieving over your destiny. This brutal dictator dominator is being separated out. They're separated. They're being separated from the star seeds. They got to get out of the star seeds energy. Six of Swords, their relationship is ending. You're leaving it behind. They're just nothing but a bunch of illusionists. There's unfinished business. They have to go far, far away from these Two of Cups unions and their mind. Trauma bond. They mess with the mind and the mental body. They bring people into a state of suffering, mental suffering, energetic suffering, emotional suffering. And this is a trauma bond with people. And then they attach and then they F up they're so freaking nasty. Page of Wands is being held back from the reunion. They're trying to reach for love, but they're not, it's eluding them. This is an immature, vain person. Got to live and learn. It's no conspiracy. This is the truth. You got to go find out what the truth is. It's no conspiracy. This reunion wasn't a conspiracy. It isn't a conspiracy. So wish come true. The law of cause and effect is in order. Those who were chasing after your destiny don't want to chase it anymore to get their needs met. The world has turned, like this is a completion of a cycle and you've got victory over this. Chaser. This simp who does the most for those who care the least. Temperance angel dealing with a passionate Knight of Wands who's in disagreement. You should understand how I feel. They're not willing to say or hear the truth. They're an empty vessel. They're an empty cup. They have nothing to offer. They're being let go. It's time for you to heal from this nastiness. Calling itself a man, calling itself a woman. You're doing your research. When these people come in, you're doing your research. You're shining a light on their soul, on their history. With the vitalization of the sun, somebody wants to have a conversation. They're struggling because you're not supporting them anymore. They're not covered by your light. They're not covered by your blessing. They're not covered by your protection. You are closed off. And the divine stated, those who wish to delay others' purposes will delay their inheritance. So these ones have a delayed opportunity. You're closed off. You're not dealing with them anymore. And they're being confined. They're losing their freedom. They can't come up against you anymore. They got to get out of there. These Agent Smiths, they got to stay in their own lane. They're being confined. They got to stay out of your energy, out of the energy of a legend. You're legendary. And these bitches were out there love bombing and gaslighting people for a status of privilege. It's like, oh, I can dress up real pretty. I can make myself look like a little princess, but I'm such a bitch on the inside, devil. And they would target people who actually cared for themselves and took care of themselves. And this is what they wanted to do in order to get themselves cared for and to get a status of privilege. They would love bomb and gaslight somebody who was actually had that coming to them or whose destiny they went in. Even if it was a Two of Cups union, if they felt that whoever the woman or the man was, if they were going to come up with an idea or whatever, they would go in and then they would love bomb one or the other and then split up that family and kind of insert themselves. This is a feral, triggered, jealous a-hole. We've got a unicorn out here who could be an oracle. That Queen of Swords is out here, fortune telling the fate. This is a billionaire status. It could be this is otherworldly information. We got a troll here. A demon troll, devil troll, holding back, fruitless, barren, nasty wands, fashion witch, getting some red flags regarding the empath. We have a narcissistic vampire wanting to do the least to gain the most. A cult leader. And they target influencers. They want to be the influencer. They want this nasty trauma bonding bullshit to continue. Victory for the Emperor. He's holding back barren, fruitless beings who have been working hard to screw people over, taking it as far as it can. They're getting let go. Walking away is the best you can do, and you got get effed. I mean, they're scared because they're being told to get effed. There's no sweetness to this, and there's no holding back. It's like, get the F away from me, you disgusting, foul vermin. Deadbeat. Loser. Hoe bag. Lonely. Lonely. They're going to be alone. They're going to be alone. Get out of here. The Emperor's got the land back. He's making solid foundation for Two of Cups unions. And those who were tempted by the snake missed their opportunity for change, for this destiny, for a new abundant and stable future. They're in fright. They're paranoid. They got to get out. Get off the land. Get out of the area. Get out of the energy. Makes me want to throw up to think about sharing space with this person or these people. It really is. It's cringeworthy. Like, everything in me is like, ugh. My soul feels like vomiting when I think of this. It's that bad. It's like so deep in me. It's like, this is just nasty. I imagine a lot of you feel that way too. These envious snakes are frightened now. They're having paranoia. They missed their opportunity. It's in the history. Whatever's in the history is causing collapse and stormy suffering here. They're unsatisfied. They were unsatisfied with the way things were going. They didn't mean to hurt you. That's a lying sack of shit right there. They were trying to rob a Queen of Wands and use her as a snack. They had to snack on her energy, to snack on her future, to snack on her prosperity. Maybe they're going to be a snack now because that was their intention for this Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is disciplined, can accomplish whatever they set their mind to. And you got this person here who is trying to rob her. The devil is codependent on those who embody the essence of the sun. There's a Queen of Pentacles here who has been found unworthy. They didn't keep the promises they made. The Queen of Swords is here reading or forecasting fortunes. This is a billionaire status. It could, and somebody's afraid of this billionaire status. There's somebody here who's very important, and they're a starseed. They were bringing conflict to somebody who is a billionaire status starseed here to help these people, and they decided to try to destroy this person or people for their destiny. They'll never be this person. They will never be able to withstand the brutality that they piled on this person. These people. They're being separated away from the starseed because they're dictator, brutalizer, controlling little obsessive freaks. Denial. They're getting a denial. They're being denied. They could be in denial. You're leaving it behind. The relationship is ending. They're nothing but a bunch of illusionists. There's unfinished business. They're getting sent far, far away from these Two of Cups partnerships and their mind because of this trauma bond. And because they're not beings of service. They don't, these are trauma bonded people. They're not here in service. They trauma bond others. They don't provide any services. They're just cruel, man. Whoever this was that trauma bonded with people, they're no longer going to get services. You're no longer supporting them. And that this curator said, if they are the savior, then they're obligated to. Well, bullshit, curator. These Two of Cups unions that are the sun energy here do not have to save you from shit or offer you any services whatsoever. That's over. Page of Wands is being held back. They're getting the news. They're being held back from this reunion because they're an immature, vain person who's obsessed. It's bad news. They're reaching out for love, but love is eluding them. Love doesn't want to have nothing to do with them. It's not a tinfoil hat conspiracy. These are lessons that were learned and lessons that have yet to be learned. They don't know what to do. Indecision. Nine of Cups here. You got a wish come true. The justice is being served. The law of cause and effect. This simp who does the most for those who care the least no longer wishes to chase after your destiny in order to get their needs met. You've triumphed over this. This is a completion of this scenario. You've triumphed over this simp, this little page, this little knight, devil. You've triumphed. You know what you're here to do. You're in your purpose. You're a temperance angel. You've got a Knight of Wands coming in, fearless in disagreement. They're not willing to say or hear the truth. They're an empty vessel, and they're being let go. It's time to heal from this trauma. It's being announced. Like it's out there. People know it. Like you got the Queen of Swords, fortune telling here, billionaire status, starseed. Queen of Pentacles, unworthy. Knight of Wands, let go. Page of Wands, not holding back, getting held back from this new beginning. You've got this entity here, which could be that Queen of Pentacles or whatever, barren, fruitless, rootless individual, getting held back. Trust. They're not trustworthy. You can't trust them. They're brutalizing little lying whores is what they are, and you can't trust them. They just go out and sleep with people for money, and they destroy lives so that they can go out there and wear fancy clothes and pretend like they're successful, when all they are is successful at their brutality, their cruelty, and their arrogance, and their vicious, dark magic, and their black energy projection onto people, and their malicious mental abuse. You got that you're researching, you're doing your research, you've done your research, you've got the sun energy here. This one wants to have a conversation with you. They're struggling because you're no longer supporting them. These ones who trauma bonded with you, they're no longer getting your services. You're not obligated to service them anymore. They got to stay out of these unions and out of their heads. You're closed off. They're losing their freedom. They're being told to stay in their own lane. They don't have any balance. You are the temperance energy that they were abusing so viciously, and they are getting cut off. Judgment. Judgment. Because you persevered. Because you persevered, they're under judgment, and now they're in grief, and they want forgiveness. They need your love. They need your love. Patience, everything happens in divine order. You are a peaceful, loving being, and you have your freedom from this, and you're courageous, you're a limitless, abundant being, and these ones tried to destroy you. You're an empathic person. You're here to bring change. You're successful. You know there's no greater goal than to love. You possess gifts of the soul that benefit you and others. And you've got these ones bringing adversity to your mind. They tried to destroy your mind. And your relationships, your life, everything. And now they're worried because they have to accept responsibility for what they have done. And they're in regret. These prideful people are in regret. Makes me sick. The sooner we can get away from them and their energy, the better. It makes me so sick to even think. It's like they're reaching out, man. They're reaching out. They really are. They're trying to get into the heart space, and you might be feeling some cramping or some kind of uncomfortableness. And this is these vampiric, devilish, trying to reach out. But love is eluding them. They're trying to connect to your heart space, to your heart chakra. This simp. They're vile, man. They're truly disgusting entities. I don't care what anybody says. It's gross. That they didn't even have the soul connection to the Most High God to even be aware that what they were doing was vile and unacceptable. They just went with it. And not only did they go with it, they went with it like 150%. They went way over the top with it. So they're getting left behind. And not only are they getting left behind, they're getting told to go get effed. And people are talking about it. Get out of here. Get out of the space. Get out of the energy. There's nothing left to say. No energy should be given. It's like this cramping, and it's disgusting. It's vile. It's like, how dare you touch me energetically at all? Or anybody. How dare you touch the collective after being so vile from the hidden realms with your little knowledge of black magic and vile behaviors with the spirit, the demon spirits. They're frightened. They're paranoid. We've got health. Something's going on with their health. It's in the history. The need for vengeance is in the history. They're suffering a collapse. They weren't satisfied with the way things were going, so they decided to F over the entire world of temperance angels and sun beings. Friendly. This Queen of Wands is friendly. They're very disciplined and can accomplish what they set their mind to. And you've got this rootless, flowerless POS trying to rob them and feed them to their black hole soul for a snack. And maybe now they're going to be the snack. They want forgiveness. There's no forgiveness here. They got to get out. Get far, far away. Tribe. No more tribe. There's no more tribe. The tribe could be getting reversed. This tribe is going under. It's going to be completely dismantled and removed from the energy, from the space and place, from the territory. They're afraid. They're not going to be supported. They got to go get a job. They got to work for a living. Maybe they're going to be living in a tent on the street if they can afford a tent. It's going to be bad for them because that's what they created for other people. They're in fear and they know what they've done. Vent. They're being denied. They got to get something off their chest. They could be trying to project it onto other people, onto a starseed here. They're being separated out. This is a dictator, a control freak. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way they had planned. There could be, they could be getting separated from you. They're spying on you. They could be watching now with this read. There's no love in them, and you have no love for them. It's freaking over. They trauma bonded with you. They trauma bonded with you in order to be you and feed you as a snack to their black hole soul, but they're no longer getting your services. There's no love in them, and there's no love in you for them. You know, they wanted to destroy the Temperance Angels, Sun, and Star beings. They wanted to throw them into deep darkness for eternal suffering. And so they trauma bonded with people. But many of you healed. You were able to bring harmony, a harmonious state of being inside. You stopped raging against the machine. You stopped trying to fight with the people that were coming against you and brutalizing you, and you just turned inward and found your connections with the Most High. And you said, look, you guys are just a bunch of jackwagons, and I'm going to go with the divine. And you did, and now the divine's here. And it's like the Emperor is like, all these people got to get off the foundation. So you got a Page of Wands here. They're getting the news. They're being held back. They're not getting a new beginning. They're not getting to take part in this reunion. They're an immature, vain person who's obsessed with wealth, and they're reaching out trying to connect with love, but love is eluding them. There's no love in them, and you no longer have love. The last knife that I took to my heart in the astral space, you know, the only thing that it killed in me was any kind of compassion that I had for these people. They don't know what to do. This is not a conspiracy theory. There has been a lot of living, a lot of learning, a lot of information gathered. They need a safe space. They don't know what to do. You're getting a wish come true. The justice is being served on this simp who did the most for somebody who cared the least. You did the most for somebody who cared the least. This chaser doesn't want to chase after you anymore. Their needs aren't being met. Your needs weren't being met. You have completed this cycle. You have triumphed over it, and you're standing in your purpose. You've got an imposter here. You have triumphed over this imposter, this fake lover boy or lover girl, this simp who isn't who they said they were. This Knight of Wands is not trustworthy. They're in disagreement, demanding that you care about how they feel. They're not willing to say or hear the truth. They're an empty vessel. They have absolutely nothing to offer. They're being let go. It's time to heal from this trauma. It's being announced. It's being podcast. So there's an announcement, like there's an oracle here that's telling the story. There's yelling. There's fighting going on. They're unhappy. They want you to feel as bad as they do, but they want to apologize. So there's yelling and there's apologizing. It's just a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of chaos because that's all they are. That's all they ever offered anybody. They have no balance. They have no temperance energy. They are being kicked out of your energy here. You're doing your research. And it's like, hey, do you have any light inside of you, or are you just an F-boy or an F-girl, you know? They want to have a talk with you. You're no longer supporting them. They're no longer receiving your services. You are closed off. The door has slammed shut. They are in confinement. They're being unfreedom, losing their freedom. They're being told to stay in their own lane. We've got balance in the reverse. They can no longer tap into your temperance energy. They can no longer tap into your sun energy. This tribe is upside down. They're in fear. Look, revenge. There could be vengeance happening. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. There's revenge happening right now. These envious ones are traveling. They're going somewhere. They're going somewhere far, far away from these Two of Cups partnerships and their minds. They want to apologize, but that's not a real apology. It's like there's no apologizing. They were, for centuries, they proved that they were not sorry for who they were and what they were doing. Words are words. Actions speak so much louder. They were told that they needed to go seek wise counsel because their Savior failed to save them. They need advice. What do? They tried to sabotage the gift. They tried to sabotage the gift, man. And they were tricked. They were tricked. This is bad news. They were tricked. And you're not responsible for that. You're not responsible for the decisions that they made. They were tricked. They thought this was the way to get ahead in life. And they didn't have the common sense or the heart or the soul connections to tell them that it was ridiculous. Enemy. It's an enemy. Priest, sighing, holding back, getting held back. Whoever this chick is, or in her little roosters, chickens and roosters, man. Thief. A thief. So the emperor has got a victory here. He's offering protection. He's holding back these thieves, these barren entities that have nothing to offer except chaos. They're getting left behind. They're getting told to get effed. They are scared and they are alone. People are talking about it. Nobody cares about this person. They're reaching out, trying to connect to the heart space. They want to demand that somebody cares, that somebody makes it okay for them. Look, we got conversation in the reverse. You're not even willing to talk to these people. They're a thief. They're frightened. You don't even want to talk to them. They missed out. They missed out on stability by being a trashy little brutalizer. The emperor has the land back. There is an occupation, but it's not an occupation. It's a reclamation, and it's not a reclamation. It's a taking back what belonged. It's a retrieval of property that was stolen by these devils and their sex magic and witchery and all this other kind of crap. Lover. So because of the history, these ones are suffering and everything that they knew is in collapse. They were not satisfied with the way things were going, so they thought they were going to speed stuff up. They didn't want to wait on the divine or for the divine rewards. They wanted it now, and the devil said, oh, you can have it. This is all you got to do. And they did it. They did it so happily. They were feeding beautiful people as snacks to this demon that they are loyal to. They want forgiveness here for trying to rob this Queen of Wands, who's very disciplined. They were trying to feed this Queen of Wands to that black hole soul. We've got a lover who's approaching with nothing but kindness. They're very friendly. We're going to have to wait and see about that. Maybe that's what they did. They were approaching very friendly, acting as a lover, only to rob and then push them into the dark as a snack for this entity that they were being loyal to. The devil is dependent on this light-bodied being, on those who embody the essence of the sun. This Queen of Pentacles has been found unworthy. They broke every promise that they ever made. They broke a lot of hearts. They tried to crush the soul and spirit of suns and stars and temperance angels for profit. The Queen of Swords is here, fortune telling. There's a billionaire status. This Queen of Swords could be the starseed that is well known throughout the universe. They're in fear. This tribe is going under. They did not know who they were messing with. Servant. a servant of the Most High, a servant of the divine, well known throughout the universe. Years ago, I received a message that this isn't the first time that the starseeds came to a planetary system to do or to combat this type of a behavior. That this is not your first rodeo. You've done this before. You have overcome great challenges in order to bring shift like this in other systems. You're a billionaire status starseed. This isn't your first rodeo. You've done this before. These people didn't know that. You're a servant of the divine. You're very consistent. You're a starseed and you're very consistent with what it is you do. You're denying these people. They want to get something off their chest. You may be feeling something on your chest. They're trying to attach or attack or bust into the heart space. They may be trying to project their fear, their paranoia. Yeah. You're leaving that baggage behind. This relationship is ending. They're a bunch of illusionists. You're letting them go. Unfinished business. They're being sent at a distance, far, far away from the Two of Cups unions and their mind. They trauma bonded with you. There's no love in them. You no longer have any love for them. You're no longer offering your services to them. You don't want to help them. And you're not obligated to. That contract is over. Whatever you came here, however you came here, to uplift their life, to improve their lives, it's over. That contract is null and void. This curator who has been selling the life force vitality of stars and suns and innocent beings and feeding it as a snack to this black hole soul that he's responsible for, he thinks that because you have survived and you have a new covenant with the Most High, that you are obligated to help him and all of this tribe that has been doing this kind of crap, and that's just not so. They no longer get your services. And the divine said, never give it back. You will never give it back. You will never give the land back. You will never serve them again. You will never give your care or your compassion or you're going to release them, and they're going to be sent far, far away from you. They do not get to live in your territory, in your space, in your mind, in your heart, in your energy, anywhere near you. They're going to be made non-existent. You will forget these moments. They're sighing. You will forget that they ever existed. They're not moving into this reunion because they're immature and vain. They're reaching out for love. Love is eluding them. They don't know what to do. They need a safe space. This is no conspiracy theory. It's time for them to learn the lesson. They used to taunt me. She needs to learn her lesson. She needs to learn her lesson. Because trauma bond. You got to go through all this stuff, learn the lessons so that at the end of your surviving, they can go in and reap the harvest, right? Well, it didn't work out that way this time. They did not get your reward. The Most High Divine stepped in, did the research, and found out who these people are, what they've been doing. Look, it's time for you to go be happy. In your reunion, you're happy about this. These people are sick, man. They need a doctor. They need a safe space. They don't know what to do. Love is no longer helping them. The temperance energy of this temperance angel is no longer healing them, bringing balance to them. They're whacked in the head. Every mental magic, every, chaos spell that they sent to people's minds, all of that rhetoric about being not good enough, or this negative self-talk, this stream that they kept pumping through the organic processing unit. They were trying to download software programming into the mind, and it was with rote, repetitive negative thought forms. If you're getting cramping in your heart, you might want to put tourmaline in your bra, or somehow wear a tourmaline necklace or a selenite or something to that effect to try to block that. Breathe into it. Look, we've got waiting. You're in your purpose. That you're waiting. You're waiting for something. You're in your purpose. You've triumphed over this. This simp is an imposter. The law of cause and effect is in order. The soldier can't fight this. They can't fight it. They can't fight it. It's time to heal from this trauma. They want to apologize, but that's a fake apology. They're yelling, they're mad, and they are unhappy, and they want you to feel as bad as they do. But they're lying and saying they're sorry. They are not telling the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They're an empty vessel. They have nothing to offer. They can't fight this. It's over. It's being announced. They're so mad that this Queen of Swords is out there with her fortune telling. The Oracle is here, spilling the beans. These people are not trustworthy. They're using sex to tap in and do this crap. They're thinking about friends. They're thinking about your friends. They want to be a friend. They were your friend. They can't get it out of their mind. They were your friend. They screwed you over. And now your heart is completely closed off, and they're struggling because you're no longer supporting them. You're no longer giving them your services. You're no longer sharing your light with them. They can't tap into your mind anymore. Revenge is happening. They're getting confinement. They're told to stay in their own lane. They're out of balance. They're no longer connected to your temperance energy or your mind. This scholar is a very prideful, haughty jackwagon who thought that their knowledge made them all powerful. And now this pleasure seeker is sick and suffering. A priest, a false priest, is surprised by service. Maybe you're receiving a service, maybe there's a service being done, or they're surprised by your ability to provide services. There's an old woman making a journey with a merchant. So, the Lord is here making the foe a widower. So everybody who moved against you, these duos, these third-party enemies that kept disrupting other people, so they're losing their partners. They're going to be a widower. Like, it's over. You're getting the message. You're faithful. You're faithful. It's like these ones are like they're saying these entities of the curator's inner circle or whatever, they did it to a billionaire starseed, somebody who's well known throughout the universe for coming and setting things right, for being a catalyst for change. This is not the first time they've done this. This is not the first time they have come and survived tremendous, very serious and traumatic abuses in order to bring change. They're very faithful. They're very loyal. They're considered royal and a goddess. So people are getting the message of this faithfulness. There's joy here. There's some joy. And somebody else is getting a letter, and they need, the news is out, and they need consolation. It's like, oh crap, there is a reunion for this sweetheart wife. She is reunited. This billionaire starseed temperance angel is being reunited with the sun, with this emperor, who has a victory and is reclaiming the land and making it safe for Two of Cups unions. So there's cheerfulness here. because there's death. This is over. We've got a young woman and a wedding. So whoever this starseed is, you know, they're either a young woman or they have, you know, an eternal, youthful soul, spirit. I haven't pulled any of these in a while. Let's pull some of these. Just one more of these. Oh, it's pretty long reading, but that's okay. So the emperor is here. He's got a victory. He has control over this land. Those who don't have any roots, those who bear no fruit, those who are thieves and their job is to be a thief are getting F. They're scared because they're told to F off. They're getting right the hell out of here. They're going alone. They're getting alone. Everybody's talking about this. They're leaving. They've got an upside down perspective. They don't think right, man. They're skewed in the head. They're not on the north side of things. They're in south node energy, and they've been pretending or acting like they were in north node, but they were actually behaving as though they were in south node, playing a role while dumping suffering into the world. The Emperor's challenge is to create a solid foundation in this land for Two of Cups unions. Those envious beings who were tempted by the snake missed their opportunity for a stable and abundant destiny. They're in fright. They're paranoid. Nobody wants to talk to them. There's something going on with their health. And commitment. We've got a commitment here. There's no conversation. We've got a commitment. They're afraid of this commitment. They're afraid of this Two of Cups union, whether it be one or many. They're afraid of it. But this Emperor is very committed to this. Because of the history, there is suffering and collapse happening for these thieves, whoring thieves. They were unsatisfied with what the Lord gave them. They wanted more, and the devil said, well, this is all you got to do. All you got to do is go out there and be a whore, and you can have everything. You can keep the energy of this temperance angel and this sun forever and ever and ever in this squashed, trapped state. All you got to do is trick them, rob them, and feed them as a snack to the black hole soul. They came after a Queen of Wands. They came after a very a passionate, vivacious person who loves their life. And they're very disciplined and can accomplish whatever they set their mind to. They tried to rob this person and then feed him as a snack to their devil or this demon that they're in loyalty to. We've got a lover who's approaching friendly, or it could be that this is how they got into it with their skewed perspective. Please take it as it resonates. It could be that the Emperor is thinking about approaching this Two of Cups commitment. There may be something like that happening. This Queen of Wands. We've got observation They're being watched. Any lovers who are coming in friendly, they're being watched very carefully. Yeah. Anybody who wants to come in friendly as a lover, in order to rob somebody and eat them as a snack or feast on their light or their wealth or whatever, they're being watched. So the devil is dependent, this codependent entity or entities are dependent on the energy of the sun, the light of the sun, which is embedded in these temperance angels. This Queen of Pentacles has been found unworthy. They didn't keep the promises they made. They broke people's hearts. They tried to break people's spirits. They tried to feed their soul to this black hole demon. They were bringing about negative influences in the world, driving people down a path of suffering and lack and negative self-perception. Queen of Swords is here. She is telling the fortune. She's telling the truth of this with, she could be an oracle or a seer. She's telling the truth. And please do what you need to do with the genders. This tribe is in the reverse. They're being flipped on their head. This is a South Node tribe that's been harvesting out and then pretending that they are in balance. The energy of the light. They're afraid because the news is out here. They attacked somebody with a billionaire status. Somebody who is a servant of the divine. Somebody who is well known throughout the universe. This isn't their first rodeo. They've been here. They've done this before for other planetary systems. This is not the only planetary system that is being used to enslave Homo sapiens and other human entities. Territorial conflict. It could be the whole system, the whole realm. Prince Charming. Knight in shining armor. Ew, I got a love cup. Lover coming in friendly. Wanting to steal, rob people and then feed them as a snack to this black hole demon energy that they're loyal to. This is a dictator, controlling brutalizer. They are grieving. It did not work out the way that they had planned. They're being separated out from the starseed's energy. This starseed is very consistent, and this knight wants to get something off their chest, and they're being denied. It's like they're trying to plant something onto somebody's chest, or they're trying to connect to the heart chakra so that they can offload something onto this starseed. They've been doing this consistently. This dominator, brutalizer of beautiful people. Dominance. They're grieving. They're getting a denial. They're getting denial. The relationship is ending. It's over. You're releasing that baggage. The baggage of these illusionists. Unfinished business. They're being sent at a distance, far, far away from these Two of Cups soulmate unions and their minds. They trauma bonded with folks. And now there's no love for them. There's absolutely no love for them, and you're not required to offer them any services. You don't have to cook for them, clean for them, care for them, think about them. None of it. None of it at all. A while back, I did a read where everybody is going to be responsible for their own cross. Just because somebody is here a starseed billionaire temperance angel is here to improve the lives of others does not mean that they have to improve the lives of those who intentionally trauma bonded and tried to stuff them into a black hole demon soul eater world. It's over. At distance, they're going far, far away. They're going at a distance. This is unfinished business. They're going away. There's no love in them. You no longer have love for them. The divine said, never give it back. You'll never give it back. Your love is too precious to waste on this type of a thieving, trauma bonding, energy, soul eating devil. You'll never give back your services, your love, your care, your time, your energy, your effort, your heart, your soul. They have hurt you so badly over centuries. This billionaire status starseed came in because they knew this kind of shit was happening, and they came in to gather the information necessary to bring an end to it. Irrefutable evidence that they could present in a court system. They had to walk through the walk and suffer like everybody else was suffering so that they could, people weren't surviving it, man. People weren't surviving. They weren't able to overcome it. So a starseed, a billionaire, universally known starseed came into the system to withstand the trauma that they were putting people under with, and then survive and bring this information to the court system and bring an end to it. To bring balance back to loving Two of Cups unions and the mental body of the collective. These people are cruel and vicious and very much useless to any self-sufficient and productive community. So they made bad choices. They're getting the news. They're not getting a new beginning with this reunion. They're an immature, vain person. They're reaching out for love. Love is eluding them. They're sick. Because of what? Because you have earned your wings. They're sick about it. Literally, they got to go see the doctor. This is not a conspiracy theory. You lived and you learned, and now they got to live and learn. They don't know what to do. There's indecision. They need a safe space. Woo-hoo! Wrath. Wrath is here for them. Wrath is here for them. This is a wish come true. You're getting your 9 of Cups. Justice is being served. The law of cause and effect. Fairness is being restored. This is a simp who did the most for those who cared the least. This is an imposter who is chasing after you in order to get their needs met. They were leaving you without anything. And you triumphed over it. This is a completion of the cycle. The world has turned. You're waiting to what? Be in your purpose. Somebody's waiting. We've got mischief. You have triumphed over this mischief. You're in your purpose. Temperance angel here. You've got an untrustworthy Knight of Wands coming in. They're yelling. They're very unhappy. They're in disagreement. They want to come in and apologize, but they're very, very upset. They have an empty vessel. They were not able to fill their cup. They're not willing to say or hear the truth. This is being podcast. This is being announced. This is being aired. This is a soldier in the reverse. He cannot fight this. They want to apologize, but that's just a line, man. There's no apology here. They're very, very mad. Maybe they're very, very mad that they're being requested to apologize, that an apology is being requested from them. And it could be that a public apology is being requested. It's time to heal from this trauma. You're letting them go. They can't fight it. The soldier has lost. There needs to be a public apology. You're waiting for a public apology. Caching. This card always throws me off. I don't know what the heck that's supposed to mean. 7. Caching. Saving it for later. They want to apologize for taking your supply. They didn't want to eat it, but they didn't want you to have it. They're trying to save themselves. There's supposed to be a public apology. You're doing your research with the Hermit card here. All is well. There's been a rebirth for you. You're glowing like the sun. Your soul is all lit up. Somebody wants to talk. They're all in their thoughts. You know, they were your friend. They did you dirty. They're struggling. You're not supporting them. You don't give a crap about them. You're very closed off. You're not sharing anything with them. You're not sharing any opportunities with them. They're not successful here. It's over. You don't care. There's no love in you for them anymore. They're being confined. They're losing their freedom. Revenge is coming for them. The Lord said the need for vengeance is in the history. And of course, the vengeance is the Lord's. They have no balance. And they're being told to stay in their lane. They got to stay away from you. Somebody said the other day, stay away from her. She's a goddess. And they can't believe that they actually came up against a billionaire, a universally known starseed, who happens to be a goddess, came into this realm to suffer like everybody else was suffering so that they could survive what other people weren't able to survive, and then bring this information to the court system. We've got anticipation, and it looks to me like anticipation is there's nobody present. They could be anticipating that nobody is going to listen to them. Nobody cares. Let's see, number 3. If what you receive falls short of expectations, the feeling of joy can transform into disappointment. These people are in disappointment. Nobody wants to see their performance anymore. Nobody wants to come see the show. Whoever these, look, we've got ghosts. So we've got whoever worked against you is being prepared to become a ghost, it looks like. Because, and this anomaly is protected. So you're a bright, shining sun, temperance energy, starseed, universally known, billionaire status, goddess. And people were trying to mimic you so that they could take your abundance. And now they're at risk, and they're resisting this. I heard somebody say, you're making me work for this. It's like this emperor is like, he's like, you just need to do what you need to do. It's like the more they make him work to make this, to bring this to a close, the worse they're going to suffer. Somebody has insights over your gifts now. They did not think you were anything special. Look at how you have grown. You're up there shining brightly. You've got your freedom from this trickery. I hope that this brings clarification to something that you already intuitively knew, and I will see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.